What up, guys? So how easy or how difficult is it to go from a non-PM role to a PM role? PM role being product manager. Someone has asked this question and they're coming from more of like the business side of things, and they finally want to make that pivot into product management. And so they're asking the question, how difficult is it to do this? So let's just go ahead and jump into the post. Here is a person who works at Coinbase, and the title of this says, Making the Jump to a PM Role. Hey y'all, I've been thinking about making a career change to a product role. I've been on the business side, sales and relationship management. I think this is like CRM, for the past 8 years, and wanted to understand how challenging would it be for someone with a similar background to land a PM role. Any thoughts and advice would be much appreciated. Thanks. All right, so let's help this person out. You're at Coinbase, you're doing some great work, you've gotten some great reviews, and you want to make that switch. And let's just assume you've got a manager who's very supportive, and all things are going right for you. In that scenario, I think there's a couple different things you can do. I talked about this in the previous videos, but getting an MBA from a top 20 program will give you an opportunity to not only switch jobs, but also your function, your company, and your career track. It's not something that I recommend for everybody because everyone's situation is a little bit different. But if you can do it part-time, where you have some free time either in the nights and weekends, or you're willing to take a couple years off and go get an MBA at a top program, that also is going to give you a leg up. And it is something that employers definitely look at when they look at all the different candidates and how to sort of pick out the ones that they want to put either on a PM internship or even convert them to a product management role. So that's one option. The other option that you want to consider is that if you're at Coinbase and you want to stay there and you want a product role within Coinbase, well, I mean, you're probably working with PMs already in some form or fashion. And if you're not, find an opportunity, find a project, or even maybe do another pivot where you can get a, let's say, project manager role, TPM, or assuming you're on the business side and non-technical, maybe like a program manager role where you're going to have the opportunity to interact with product managers. And when you make that pivot, work with your management team to see, hey, is there a project or two that you can get involved in where you can actually work with the product team hands-on? That I think is probably the lowest cost, the easiest way to get your foot in the door. And then of course, the last option I think is of course through networking, right? Where whether it's at Coinbase or another company, getting to know people who are already in that industry, who are already in that job function. You know, you might have a friend, you might have a classmate that you haven't connected with in a while, and reaching out to them and setting up a coffee chat to learn more about what they do, about their role, and getting feedback from them on how to best make that switch. A lot of them will probably give you the same advice that I'm giving you, which is MBA is one option. You can also just get hands-on experience in your current role or make a pivot to another role that will give you that experience. But those are the best options. Of course, networking is important whether you make any sort of pivot into any role, even if it's not product management. So definitely consider that as well. But right now, it's a tough time to be making a pivot. Product manager roles are probably the most difficult to get because there's just so few of them and the interviewing bar is pretty high. And there's just not a lot of roles out there. And so you're competing with a ton of people who are out there in the job market who recently got laid off, who are also probably vying for those opportunities. So it's gonna be tough, but leverage your connections, your network, get an MBA if you have the time and resources to do so, and then also make a pivot or be put on a project or a program where you can work with product managers on a daily basis so you can build that hands-on experience, put it on your resume, and then also just have people who will vouch for you. That's also supremely important. Anyways, that's my advice for you, OP. Hopefully this works out. Let me know in the comments down below how your journey is going. And for those of you guys out there who are watching this video, if you have any other bits of advice for this OP, drop them in the comments down below and we'll catch you guys in the next video.